All right, I'm checking this shot out that I did, so to show the process on like how I'm trying to dial these shots in. So this is the shot coming in on hole number 1 of the Monster Marsh tournament, and it shows the walk through coming up to the hole with my lower developed club. So I've got a level 8 backbone, so I don't have tons of ball guide on that third bounce going forward, so I can't really see the tail down there. So I'm 2 rings off in the pocket, and what I'm trying to get to is my orange ring up against the way that this shot is set up. If I can get the, of course I can't because of the overlay. No, I can't do it because now the picture's down there, so suck it up. I'm orange ring off on the rough and trying to be kind of close to blue ring off on the rough in the front, and it's not the entire blue ring, but so that like if you draw the ball guide right in front of the where it hits on the bounce, its ball trajectory, I want that spot of the blue ring to be right at the wedge, so that everything on the left hand side is it'll end up being blue ring out, and then everything on the right hand side there'll be some of the clear ring. So a little bit back from where we're at right now. That's probably about right there. You can see where it starts to come into clear over here. So I'm giving myself more room on the left because I have tons of room on the right. But I'm still staying in range on the right. So if I duff the shot to the right, it'll still go to the hole. Now it's about making wind adjustment, and I hit a perfect shot on this, so I can really diagnose wind adjustment.
4.2.
Okay, so we got the wind at 4.2. Now here's where I made a mistake on this, is that I confused this with my upper developed club. So this is a good lesson on why it's important if you have multiple accounts to write down your numbers for each club. So I'm making notes for my account right here. And on this account, it's 1.5 per ring with my backbone, but if you've got upper developed clubs, it's going to be 1.2, and it changes the shot. So if you did the 1.5, and we're doing a full wind adjustment, 1.5 will go into 4.2 2.8 times, right? So that'd be 1.5 times 2 is 3, so that means 2 rings is 3. We're a little shy of 4.5, so 4.5 is 3. So we're just a little bit shy. And so in fractionals, if we were doing it in fractions, so 1.5 will go into 4.2, that's 3, that leaves me 12 out of 15. So that means I'm, what is that, like 16%, somewhere between 16 and 20%. So quick math, just out in the field, I would do a 2.8. I'd pull at 2.8 rings. And if I saw with my calculator, I could get a precise number, but like just trying to think about how I would round that up quickly now so that I'm prepared for it. I do a 2.8. But if I pulled the 1.2 rings, like I would with my upper developed club, 1.2 times 3 is 3.6. So now we're at a full 3 rings, and I still have 0.6 and change left over. Okay, and that's a 1.2 club, and I have 0.6, so that means it's a half. So I would do 3.5 ring pull. So the difference there is 0.7 of a ring, and so you have to think of, that's why I'm always leaving myself distance, because if I make a wrong wind pull where I actually use the wrong number, I'm still giving myself room. I mean, if you watch my shots on a regular basis and you go, well, you hit it great to the left and you still had plenty of room there, you could have pinched it. The deal is that I may have made a bad wind adjustment, so I'm giving myself some room. But here we're trying to get in the hole, so we have to make great wind adjustments. So I had 4.2, and let's see what I moved. I should have moved 2.8.
3.6. It's 3.5 rings.
So I said 3.5 rings. So I did the 1.2. So that means that I did an overpull based off the way that the wind is blowing. I did an overpull. If you look at the wind right there. So the wind's going to the left, and I pulled it to the left 0.7 off.
Trying to get the swing of it.
Which is about
first
a cup.
hole of the morning.
Because I think of the cup as being like 0.4. or half the cup.
Getting it perfect. Oh, just a bit outside.
So my
We'll watch that video and see what the wind adjustment was there, because
that little tiny mistake at the top up there, just in that little teeny wind adjustment between 1.5 and 1.2, ended up netting me a 0.7 to the left, and that 0.7 to the left pulled me just off the cup. So those wind adjustments that you make up there and knowing the numbers for your club, so what that tells me is that, and it's not necessarily that I would get in the cup, but if I would have had the right wind number there and actually used the 1.5, that would have gave me a much better shot, because that's just a little teeny bit of distance. So if I measure from the flagpole to the edge of the cup as like 0.4, it's 4 miles per hour per wind when you're in the very close up stuff. So I think of it as that 0.4, and if you're off by 0.7 from where I'm at, that's about the width of the cup, and so it would have been in the cup or real dang close if I'd have made a good wind adjustment there. So that's encouraging though, because what I've learned on that shot is that my notes for that, I know the backspin and the left hand side spin. So it was 1.5 backspin, pretty close to 2 to 1.5. I mean, it's close to 2. It wasn't at 2. It was a little less than 2. And then maximum left hand side spin with a navigator. Putting my blue ring at the top and my orange ring on the left with 1.5 per ring, and I put the 1.5 on there because that's the number that we're going to be using. So if we don't achieve, I mean, we got that shot in one shot, so we're gonna be able to shoot this setup shot. That if I shoot that, I'm going to be close to getting a hole-in-one, and not just a hole-in-one like one hole-in-one, but I mean, you can, if some of these holes, if you don't have to make a lot of adjustment here, and you've got a setup that you can go in there and do that same setup every time, and it gets you that close, you're going to tend to make more hole-in-ones on that hole and start to dial that hole in. So I made a wrong wind adjustment, and it cost me a potential hole-in-one. So that's awesome, because the next time I go in there, I'll be able to make up for that mistake. All right, that's how I look at those shots and analyze those shots when I hit perfect. You can catch the distance ones where you hit a great. You can catch those on the fly and make notes on it. But the ones that you really want to go back and watch that trajectory. Anytime you get one that goes in the hole, you want to go back and watch that one and see if you actually made the right adjustment. Those are really important to watch, because you want to make sure that on those ones you got it right and it went in the hole. You want to go make sure that you got the math right, because what you may find is that you made a mistake, but the mistake was about something that we're working on, and that might have answered the question.
So I'm not absolutely sure that was the right. It was a 4-2 wind,
Yep.
2-4 club.
So right there, I was talking about it. All right, that's me going back and analyzing one of the holes for my notes, just so you know the process, because I'm trying to help you guys out shoot these videos so that you can look at it from different angles. You'll have different shots in your bag, so when you're playing one-on-one, you'll be a lot more successful, because you'll look at the holes and go, okay, I got that club, that's not a problem, I should be shooting it from over here, instead of going, heck, I don't have the right club, and then trying some wild shot. Thanks for watching.